due to bad power cut around 7 or 8 hours. Nothing to do. So now I'm chatting with my Bengal Dada. I'm asking something because সময় কাটছে না, কিছু তো করতে হবে। আচ্ছা দাদা, you just tell me one thing, that you don't know Bengali well, you don't know, you can't read Bengali, you can write Bengali.
I can speak Bengali.
You can speak because your mom is German and you are completely born and brought up from a different culture and a different family. That's why there is lots of problem about Bengali. But my question is like that: why are you like Kabir Suman's songs? Because it's a completely Bengali songs. How can you realize these questions of life? Because you don't know Bengali well.
No, but I know just a little enough to understand, and what little I understand, I appreciate. Plus, I like his music and his the songs.
They want to be understood, or they really don't understand.
They don't want to understand, I would say that. If they want to understand, there's not much that is difficult about Kabir Suman, as I can see. In fact, some of the other poets mentioned half the language I cannot understand. Although certain other Shukando, this and that, those poets are not difficult to understand as such. Maybe the deeper meaning and total meaning may be difficult, but some basic elementary understanding.
Without know the Bengali language too much well, how can you relate it about the song?
Because the feeling comes through. Feeling comes through from the little of the language that I understand. That is sufficient to make me really love that poet or songs, whatever he sings.
Because
I find him quite simple, direct and straightforward. I have not found his language to be at all so complex. And he explains his songs also. He explains the background to the song quite often. He speaks about it.
Many of people who know directly, they clearly claim that I understand what he is doing in the name of song. What type of language?
Well, he uses words and plays about with words, so those little bits maybe escape me. But the basic amount of the song, what do you call the fundamental structure of his songs and language and expression is always quite within reach. I don't think it's out of reach at all.
And it's a very much down to earth.
Very down to earth and very straightforward. Not at all full of such gimmicks or anything. When he explains, one can understand the depth of his voice. He uses musical technology. He uses various rags and various modes of poems, this and that. But that in no way makes his works ununderstandable. I don't think so.
If Kabir Suman not in here, if he is not Bengali, then he should have deserved the more award or more praise to the people.
It is probably because people had a bias, but at last he is being given some sort of recognition. But I think people have a bias against him. They just want to misunderstand.
No. Why people are biased?
That is what I can't understand. Maybe Kabir Suman, he has his own problems. He also sometimes gets very cutting and very nasty about people and their hypocrisies and things. And maybe some people start having a guilty feeling. They probably think he is attacking them. And maybe their sense of fear comes into it. Because the truth being uncovered is not liked by everybody.
The Suman songs always represents the world, today's world's problem, promoter, etc.
Yes.
Various problem is written and also some love.
And great concern and feeling of hurt and anguish. That is always there in his songs. So I don't see, while knowing little about something about his private life and knowing people like John who knows him quite well, so I should find there is a dichotomy.
Most of the producer, director, they want Kabir Suman to come back the music, especially about Bengali film music.
So as I say, he is not always politically correct. That's what I'm saying, that he does not always bow to the powers that be. He has his own fierce independence, which sometimes is not just disliked or being but it's probably hated.
What is the relation between this profession and this personal life?
It should not be, but unfortunately people react like that. And there's a herd instinct.
And not only people.
Without thinking much about it.
যেরকম এখন একটা ফ্লোটিং এসছে, এখন সুমন ইজ সুপার হাই, দারুণ, খুব হেভি।
Again he's in the highlight, popular again. It's all right. So we can be happy that at least he's got some sort of recognition. Maybe through the back door, so to say, but at least he's got it.
Back door?
Back door meaning he should have got these honors and much more honors long before. As you had said, he deserves your Padma Shris and things, but what he has done for the Bengali language is due for recognition. That has not been given to him fully. But I've heard many good people like Srijit and others also who agree that there's depth. There's Shumon De, who himself, although he's afraid to praise him very much loudly.
Why? But I'm telling about this question. Yeah. Why their fear?
Fear is about being politically incorrect. Because Shumon Da is a person who sometimes delights in rubbing you the wrong way. He likes criticizing and very harshly at times.
But there is also...
that hurts a lot of VIP people, I suppose. So their people are afraid.
So some VIP people is not control to the whole society?
That is not. That is why he will live and his songs will live.
The most ordinary...
have certain people are a set of admirers who will support him. And they do. One sees it.
So Kovishwan's only Poricha is a protested singer.
He's like a protest singer. And protest singers and protest people are always
but there's a lots of thing about very much important about these songs. First of all, I found love, love and passionate is
very much, absolutely brilliantly put and very on the highest levels of poetry and so
and some the sense of humor.
But people forget all this. They remember the controversy. They start fearing the person when he's attacking them for some social ill or others. And actually he attacks our own hypocrisy and things as well. So that makes some people who are oversensitive a bit afraid of him.
This is the main thing.
Yes.
So they are very much angry about Kovishwan also.
Yes, they want to be adulated. They don't want criticism. But that is part of a
But they are too much angry about Kovishwan. Why this man is... These are very
sort of fear, which because of the uncovering of the truth by Shumon, which makes him hated. That is the thing. The
thing is like that.
That is jealousy, but that I don't think too many people will be mad about, because there are hundreds of artists and things. Not all of us can sing, not all of us can draw. So I don't think that should make us virulently hate somebody for that. But actually he has got a very biting intellect, a biting tongue, and a way of writing which can sting, and his sarcasms can hurt. So I feel that. But if taken in the right spirit, I don't think there's anything really nasty or evil about him as such. I don't think so. He's basically a humanist. He likes humanity. He likes the human condition. He likes life. He likes nature. I think that is the person.
He is a part of a human race also.
He's part of the human, and he feels deeply about it. Because he knows a good part of the human race is being given a very bad deal. Not much is being done about them. We enjoy many facilities and comforts of life which a very good percentage of people do not have. And he feels guilty about it, and he tries to make us feel guilty about it as well, which again makes people hate him.
Because now because aajke Shumon je pad breaker pad breaker is a new pad. So aajke wo je position e thakte parto, je takar upor bose thakte parto, segulo sob chhede diyeche.
Yes, that is the price one has to pay for.
সব কিছু ছেড়ে দিয়ে আবার নতুন করে জীবন তৈরি করা, আবার নতুন করে ভাঙা, আবার গড়া, আবার ভাঙা, আবার গড়া.
Like the phoenix in that way.
কার বাবার তাতে কি এলো গেল?
Public always are nosy in that sense.
Which type of public? Most of the public.
Most of the public don't.
Because most of the public dancing, some other celebrities or political parties as of.
That happens. So they are not really bothered about what Shumon is saying, but they feel it is, that as the saying goes, politically correct to hate him or dislike him, so they do it. They feel comfort that they are in the herd instinct, they are siding with the majority or the more powerful. So that makes them feel easier.
Because I never see in my life before just somebody forget all these things and reject all these things. Badite boshe nije gaan, nije banache, nije chache, nije
korche. He has built his own universe in his own way.
This is so. এইগুলো যদি ক্যাসেট হয়ে যদি বেরোতো কোনোদিন, তাহলে সেগুলো প্রচন্ড রকম ভাবে হিট করতো, আমরা জানি।
করতেও দেওয়া হবে না, সার্টেন পাওয়ারফুল এনিমিজ আর দেয়ার।
কিন্তু তা সত্ত্বেও পরপর 3 থেকে 4টে গান অ্যালবাম ওই রকম ভাবে হিট হওয়ার পরেও most of the people can understand Kavi Suman's language. Songs are...
That I think has become a fashion.
Because songs also, they say songs are too much monotonous.
That is a different matter. That's a matter of taste. But I don't think the songs are monotonous really. But that is a matter of public taste and I would say individual.
Here public taste are nowadays too much cheap or ghatia or being day after day lowers.
Well, everybody has a
downwards
time and a flame and then the flame dies out. So maybe he is also facing a situation in life where all his works cannot be of the top level, of even in his own set of works. So that is not unnatural.
So one thing is, if Kavi Suman got a huge fame or huge all things, so that time there is no Kavi Suman also. If Kavi Suman get too much appreciate to everybody and everybody appreciate
everything. That's a good point. Perhaps then the real Kavi Suman would not have blossomed into this what you call messiah of change and the critic of society. He would have been also very satisfied and maybe just died a natural death. So that he would have been a dead mind in that sense.
So, but actually Kavi Suman songs for the people or for his own way, for his own trip, first thing?
No, I think it's always for his deep feelings and concern for the people. There's
not to satisfy it, as a Bajaria satisfied. He don't bother about these things also.
He's not trying to satisfy this person.
If he bother at a huge compromise, there is no dispute about
but he's one who does not compromise. That is the thing. He does not compromise. And that makes him controversial.
He don't bother about these things also.
He's not trying to satisfy this person.
If he bother at a huge compromise, there is no dispute about
but he's one who does not compromise. That is the thing. He does not compromise. And that makes him controversial.
That's the thing. So, sometimes I think dazed about seeing when people understand Rabindra Tagore.
Yes.
I don't know.
There's no reason for them not understanding
Rabindra Sangit they can understand.
No, I don't think they
Rabindra Sangit they can understand. They can understand Devananda Das Laskar. Only one poem Bangali known, Laskata God. Otherwise Devananda কোনো কিছুই লেখেননি তার আগে লিখতে পারেন না।
এইটাই তো লিমিটেশন হয়ে যায়।
এবার শক্তি চট্টোপাধ্যায়ের প্রচুর সব বাঙালি কিন্তু খুব 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 প্রিয় এবং খুব পড়েন এবং বোঝেন। এবং ইভেন সমর সেনের মতো ওরকম পাওয়ারফুল লেখক সেই তোমার 1960s এর তার সেই লেখা হাংরি জেনারেশন থেকে উনি সরে গিয়ে অনেক রকম লেখা তাদের এরকম স্ট্রং লেখা ওরকম অ্যাবস্ট্রাক্ট লেখাও কিছু আছেন সেগুলো কিন্তু লোকে খুব ভালো বোঝে এটা কি লোক
কতটা বোঝে একটু সন্দেহ আছে they don't criticize him that because they are also not so very what you call revolutionary in their minds. They don't want to upset society so much.
So বাঙালিরা কি একটু রেভলিউশন প্রিয় হয় যার জন্য রেভলিউশন
প্রিয় হলো ওর আবার ভয় ওকে যে নাহলে প্রিয় হলে তো সুমনদাকে খুব প্রিয় বলা হতো সেটা তো না ওকে তো প্র্যাকটিক্যালি আউট করে দেওয়া হয়ে যায় হি ইজ শান প্র্যাকটিক্যালি পিপল রান অ্যাওয়ে ফ্রম হিম ইন দ্যাট সেন্স so ওটা একটু রিস্ক আছে
as a half non-Bengali I'm asking to you as a half non-Bengali how can you relate at Kavi Suman song so easily you can say
এটা আমিও বুঝতে পারছি না মানে I never found him too complex
তুমি বাংলা ভালো করে জানো না তুমি ইংরেজিও ইংরেজি আমার বাংলা তোমার মানে আমার ইংরেজি তোমার বাংলা হচ্ছে ইকুয়াল হয়ে যেতে পারে এরকম ব্যাপার সেখান থেকে তুমি কি করে কবি
some I related to many of his thinkings his attitudes not all his attitudes but very many of his I appreciate
what is input in the song
yes what he has deeply felt and said his politically biased songs I don't agree with or his straightforward bias when he says that a revolutionary is a hero while the same thing the police does they are absolutely criminals those things I don't agree there is a balance somewhere has to be a balance somewhere in that sort of criticism that is his shortcoming that is his bias and his fault but nobody is claiming that is his best work so every artist has his best work his middling work and some really bad works so it's like that and everybody has his time they blossom into something and then they slowly age and fade away so nobody knows whether Sumanda has passed his prime or not although he changes so sometimes moving with the times he becomes very political then I think the artist suffers but he will say the times are such that I can do nothing else but I'm only given the inspiration and the impetus to do anything because of this kind of thing and the kind of situation I'm seeing, the impetus I'm getting, this is what my reactions are, and this is what my mind is producing. Maybe that is something.
So, actually, মানে তুমি এটাকে মানে না বোঝা আর কি ভুল বোঝার কোনো কারণ তুমি দেখো?
যে ভুল বুঝবো বা বুঝবো না তো
না, ওরা কিন্তু সিরিয়াসলি বলে
যেটা এসকেপ করেছে আই লেট ইট এসকেপ, আই ডোন্ট বদার অ্যাবাউট ইট। ঠিক আছে, যেটুকু বুঝলাম। আমার তাতে ওনার উপরে কোনো রাগ নেই যে বুঝতে পারছি না কেন, দ্যাট ইজ হিজ ফল্ট।
বুঝতে পারছি না কেন ভেবে ওনাকে রাগ থাকে,
ওটা ওনার দোষ না, আমারই শর্টকামিং ইন দ্যাট সেন্স। কারণ উনি ইচ্ছা করে এমন একটা গান করেননি বা লেখেননি যাতে আধা লোক বুঝতে পারবে না। I don't think so. I can't agree with that sort of feeling at all. আমার কোন রাইটিং কোন সঙ্গে এমন কঠিন মনে হয়নি যে একটাও কিচ্ছু বোঝা যায়নি। This is something I can't agree with. He's quite straightforward. His language is also quite simple. ভালো ইউজ করেছেন, অনেক সময় খুব কমপ্লিকেটেড ইউজ হয়তো করেছেন, সফিস্টিকেটেড ইউজ হয়তো করেছেন। মেবি দ্য সফিস্ট্রি আর মিসড, বাট টোটাল জিনিসটাই কিছু বুঝলাম না। জেনারেলি দ্যাট ডাজন্ট হ্যাপেন।
তুমি তো নিজেও দেখেছো, তুমি তো আমাদের এখানকার আশেপাশের লোকজনের সাথে মেলামেশা করে দেখেছো যারা
আমি ওটা বুঝি না, দ্যাট ফিয়ার, সেন্স অফ ফিয়ার, যে উনি তো বড্ড ইন্টেলেকচুয়াল, কিসের কোথায় অত ইন্টেলেকচুয়াল তো বুঝলাম না। হি হ্যাজ এ থিঙ্কিং মাইন্ড, হি হ্যাজ এ ফিলিং সোল, সেটা তো ইজ নাথিং টু সেট ইউ আপার্ট অ্যাজ এ ফ্রিক। হি ইজ নট এ ফ্রিক, হি ইজ এ ভেরি হিউম্যান পারসন।
হ্যাঁ, ঠিক আছে, আমরা নাই বুঝতে পারি, কিন্তু তার মানে তো এটা না আমরা বুঝবো না বলে আমরা বলে দেবো যে এরা ফালতু লোক, কিংবা তার 4টে বিয়ে, তার 25টা চুমু, তার 30টা লোককে জড়ানো,
বিয়ে হ্যান ফ্যান হাবি যাবি।
বাঙালি ইজ টু মাচ, মানে বাঙালিদের স্বভাবই হচ্ছে রান্না করে ঢুকে যাওয়ার।
হ্যাঁ,
এটা খুব একটা ডেঞ্জারাস স্বভাব, সবসময় রান্না করে ঢুকে যাওয়ার
জাতের ক্যারেক্টারিস্টিক্স।
সবার ঘর অব্দি না পৌঁছালে
ঠিক আছে, কিছুটা অ্যাকসেপ্ট করা যাবে, বাট মেক ইট দ্য ফাইনাল এন্ড এন্ড অল এন্ড বি অল অফ অল দ্য ক্রিটিসিজম, দ্যাট ইজ রং।
এখন তোমার যে সুমনের যে স্ট্যাটাস গুলো দেখো, এখন যে লাইক হচ্ছে, এই হচ্ছে, সেই হচ্ছে, তা সেগুলো তুমি এটাকে তুমি কি চোখে দেখবে?
এটা আমি খুশি হচ্ছি, আমি নট মেবি যে লোকে হুজুকেও দিচ্ছে, বাট দ্যাট ইজ, আর কিছুটা দুঃখ লাগে যে এত বিলেটেড কেন, এত পরে আসলো কেন।
ওই যে
তাতে আমার রাগ করার কিছু নেই, যে এখন এটা ভুলে যাবে হয়তো,
এই ব্যাপারগুলোকে কি
এটা তো খারাপ লাগে, বাট আই ডোন্ট থিঙ্ক যে ওর একটা বেসিস থাকবে আর একটা কোর অফ অ্যাডমায়ারার্স থাকবে। দে উইল নট শিফট অর চেঞ্জ, and they are quite tolerant and understanding. They understand his whimsicalities.
এবং সেটাই বোধহয় হওয়া উচিত, তাই না? সবাই যদি বুঝে তুঝে ফেলে,
সেটাই না, সবাই বুঝলেও যে আমরা হিউজ দুঃখ পাবো, আমাদের পলিটিক্যাল ভ্যালু চলে গেল, that they are also being selfish, that we should be only admirers, so that we ourselves are admired for being admired.
এটাও কিন্তু চলে, ট্যাগ অফ অ্যাডমায়ার।
হ্যাঁ, সেটা যদি হয়ে যায় তো ঠিক আছে, বাট ওটা বেশি করতে গেলে ক্ষতি করে। আমরাই ছাড়া কেউ
সে কখনো এই জায়গাটা বলেনি যে আগে আমাকে দেখতে নাকি, এখন সেটা বলেনি কখনো।
এর আগেও যা দেখেছি এর পরেও তাই দেখছি, there is no dramatic change in his character. If he was a hypocrite after getting this reward, he would have turned into a different person. But no, he's still criticism, he's still angry, he's still the same intensely feeling artist. He's all that. Maybe I hope he is a little more happier than before. But even then, there's no dramatic change. That just a reward changes a man. It's not like that. Nor has he gone out of his way to prove that the reward is nothing. That will also be a shortcoming if he does that also. Because society too has a right to express some gratitude from Sumanda. Well, we have recognized it. At least say thanks.
Exactly, but they're hesitated to give him a thanks.
They're afraid because he's such a touchy person. People are afraid. But I've seen Sumanda handling him. He does it very delicately. Sumanda generally doesn't bother so much about what the interviewed person is saying or thinking. But here he is being let Sumanda do 90% of the talking. He handled him with real finesse, so to say. So that is why I admire both the Sumons. They are two different persons, but this other Sumon who interviewed him is a very perceptive person. He let Sumanda have his way, controversy or not.
Do you think this Sumanda needs controversy?
In a way, perhaps his enemies will somehow even
I understand. I will have to controversy.
That will be sad if he artificially creates controversy. No. Then that will be something shortcoming. That will not be the greatness in the man.
So, and he's not like that.
I hope he's not like. I don't think he's like that.
But if he is not controversial figure,
Yes.
so Kubishun is a very normal person.
That is the thing. And normal,
These are very much cheap thinking. Personally, I
yes,
think.
because Shubhanda is not a normal or ordinary person. He never was. His background, his family, what you call background, if one goes to it, he comes from a very, very highly placed and intellectual and what you call cultural family. He has a background, not only in his social thing, but also in music. He knows his music. And there's no way of denying that.
If somebody says that someone don't know what is called Bengalis don't know.
Somebody says that is a very illiterate comment, I will say.
Nuchiketa also says it. So,
That I think he has done out of a moment of antagonism or perhaps
to please somebody
to
else.
please some powerful people in a happy mood.
But this is the way to
This
please.
is not the correct way, but well, I will not comment too much. I like some of the songs also, but I was rather surprised and shocked and disappointed that hearing that he had to say such a nasty thing. Carom khelle hobe. And when carom khelle to hobe ki hobe na, that does not increase your value in any way. If you are that brilliant a carom player, you would have been given that honor. That doesn't belittle the source of what you call a political artist. But that does not mean I say everything she has done or says or thinks is correct. But even then, I don't matter because I, first of all, I'm not a Trinamool person. I'm quite a leftist. I was a leftist before. My family basically is a Congress family. So I'm a hybrid.
Because all families are
Yes, they were
somebody is a minister,
and parliament members, but they were all from Congress.
All are,
Yes, and my friends here in school and college and things, they were all leftists. So, and I studied in presidency, which is supposed to be extreme leftist, which one was sometimes suspected of. Well, I'm also not an Naxalite. I don't agree with all their ways, nor with all their thinkings. And neither does Shubhanda, he also clearly says. But although even I have sometimes suspected, Shubhanda seems to be batting for them quite a bit, it seems, once in a while. But then I leave it to his idiosyncrasy. That is a shortcoming. I do not say that is the best in the man. But he has his right, he has his greatness, and all great people have their faults. That's why I say even Mahatma has our faults.
So this is the part. Songs is another thing and the politics is another thing.
It's another thing. Sometimes they mix, sometimes they blend. They both have a relation with each other. But one should not be allowed to totally dominate the other. Then it is sad. Then democracy loses.
This is the problem in a total society.
Yes. The whole culture will suffer. And democracy itself will suffer. Ultimately, the people's good will not be very much nourished. But it happens. I mean, I've seen
as a তোমার কি বলবো এটা মানে ভদ্রতা যেটা করে বাঙালি যেটা বাঙালিকে করে কিন্তু বাঙালি একমাত্র বাঙালিকে করে না
ওই কাকড়ার মতন মনকে একজন উঠে যায় তো আরেকজন টাইনে না you don't need some third person to control you. We ourselves bring ourselves down. So that is a shortcoming of Bengalis perhaps.
কিন্তু একটা সময় দাদা বেঙ্গলিরাই তো শুনেছি মানে সঙ্গীতের জগতে রাজ করতো বোম্বে টোম্বে
সঙ্গীতের কেন থিঙ্কিং ফিলসফি সব নিজেই রাজ করতো. Now we are also on a downside, but maybe if we still try to improve ourselves, there's no reason why we cannot come up. But being narrow-minded or selfish will not be the right path to it. আজকে সুপার দিয়েছে রে দিচ্ছি বলে তো হয়ে গেল সিনটা
দেখি কি বলে ফোনে This